What is up, guys? Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez, February 21st. Guys, this is the fight to watch out for in the middleweight division. And I think it's a very telling fight and an interesting fight to me in the fact that it all comes down to Hamza Chimaev. Who's going to challenge him? But we're not here to talk about Hamza. We're here to talk about Sean Strickland. We're here to talk about Anthony Hernandez. Before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. But I'm gonna be straight up. I'm not predicting any of these fights on the prelims. Jeff Neal versus I don't know who Oroz Medic is. He might be a first signing or no. He's fought in the UFC before. How do I get back to events? But whatever. I'm only predicting Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Only one I care about right now. This is an interesting fight because we have two kind of similar fighters in the fact that they're both pressure fighters. Sean Strickland, pressure fighter. He's gonna be on your poop. He's gonna be on you the whole fight. He's gonna be pressuring you the whole fight. Anthony Hernandez, same exact thing, but their pressure is a little bit different. Anthony Hernandez, I would say, has more variety with his pressure. Sean Strickland, you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go in there with his weird guard, with his little like wannabe Philly shell that works in MMA somehow. I don't know how, but he makes it work very well. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna walk you down. He's gonna teep you to the stomach. He's gonna jab your face off. And he's going to chuck that right hand every once in a while, and he's just going to wear you out. And you're not really going to know what to do because you can't hit him back. You try to hit him back, he'll return it. He's a very hard guy to hit. He has probably like the best head defense in the UFC ever. Like we've really ever seen. The way to beat Sean Strickland, go to the body a lot. Anthony Hernandez, a guy who's on the gas. He goes for takedowns. He goes for a lot of low kicks he throws, which I think can be a thing that can make a difference in the fight. But honestly, low kicks never make the difference in any fight. Let's be honest. So, Anthony Hernandez, yeah, more unpredictable than Sean Strickland, I would say. Just an unpredictable fighter. But you know what he's going to do. He's going to be on the gas going against you. So we have two guys, two semi-trucks moving against each other. But who's going to back up first? I think it's going to be Anthony Hernandez. Maybe Sean Strickland. I don't know. It's hard to say who's going to back up first. But here's the thing, though. I look at their just skill and technique, and I look at Sean Strickland's boxing. It's simply just way better. Anthony Hernandez, he probably has more combinations and more... He's maybe a little faster, but Sean Strickland, he's so calculated. And his jab is just way better too. Does Anthony Hernandez even throw a jab? And if he does, it's not a good jab. It's your typical MMA fighter jab. I'm not gonna say Sean Strickland's isn't your typical MMA fighter jab, but his actually hit people and they're effective. Call me Ashton Hall. It's not Saratoga though. Whatever. Sean Strickland. His jab is so good. His teeps are good. I think his teeps are probably going to win him. I'm going to be straight up. I think Sean Strickland is going to probably TKO Anthony Hernandez fourth or even fifth round. I actually do think Sean Strickland gets the stoppage here. And the reason being is because Anthony Hernandez is such a pressure fighter. He likes to dictate the fight, right? And dictate the fight. And we saw it against Roman Dolidze. Which is, by the way, we got to talk about their facing of competition. Sean Strickland, for his last 5 fights, has faced the top of the division. Anthony Hernandez has not been doing that. He's been facing the who's who's of the what's it called? Of the more bottom of the rankings. He beat Michel Pereira, who's I think he's just outside of the rankings. He beat a Brendan Allen who's high up there in the rankings now. He beat Roman Dolidze, Roman Dolidze sucks. He's just your typical MMA fighter, no technique behind him, just doesn't really know what they're doing out there, right? He's beat really good guys, but Sean Strickland, last fight we saw against Dricus du Plessis. Now you could argue that can Anthony Hernandez do the same thing that Dricus did to Sean Strickland, and I'm gonna tell you, there's always a possibility of that. You never know, but Anthony Hernandez's striking is nowhere close to Dricus. Dricus' striking in that Sean Strickland fight was so good. I really encourage everyone to go back and watch that Sean Strickland fight. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis 2. That fight, Dricus' striking was so good. He was so calculated. His combos, he knew when to, like, his kicks, bro. Everything about that Dricus versus Strickland 2 fight, just amazing on Dricus' end. And Sean got dominated in that fight. We saw, like, he had nothing to offer back, which I think was a little unlike him. I did see in a recent interview, he did say he shouldn't have even taken that fight in the first place. He was injured. That could be excuses, though. Every fighter fights with injuries. But I do believe that with Sean Strickland. We never seen him fight like that, really, before, actually. We've never seen Sean Strickland fight like that, on the back foot like that, and not have anything to return back, not go on the front foot a lot, and just let someone throw combinations against him for a whole 5 rounds. So I think that fight I think it's appropriate to say it's not like Sean Strickland to be like that. So if we take the Sean Strickland, the Paulo Costa fight, and the Dricus 1 fight, and the Izzy fight, which I think that's going to be the Sean Strickland that's coming to fight Anthony Hernandez, I don't think Anthony Hernandez has anything to offer Sean Strickland. Now you could say the grappling. That's the thing, it messes with a striker like Sean Strickland, but it doesn't. It messes with most strikers. I don't think that's going to mess with Sean Strickland that much, because Sean Strickland knows Anthony Hernandez can't do anything to Strickland on the ground. Sean Strickland, amazing ground defense. His initial takedown defense isn't like great, but if you get him on the ground, you can't do anything to him, and he'll get back up. I don't think Anthony Hernandez's grappling is on that huge level. Even though we saw a Brendan Allen fight that did Elite Safe fight, his grappling's really good. I wouldn't say it's so much better than Dricus is, I wouldn't say it's an amazing thing. I know Sean Strickland in a recent interview, I don't know why he said this. He somehow said Anthony Hernandez's wrestling is better than Hamzat's. Maybe Sean Strickland knows something we don't. I think he's just saying that just to hype up his opponent, and make, when he beats Anthony Hernandez, make it seem better. I also do wonder, is Sean Strickland ever going to go offensive with his grappling? I do believe, and I don't really have much proof behind this. I'm just kind of saying this. I believe his grappling offensively could be really good if he wanted to. I believe it really could be. But it's not. We saw a takedown in Imavov, right? That's pretty impressive. That's like the last time he took someone down, though, But whatever, we're not going to talk about, Sean Strickland's offensive grappling, because, he most likely won't use it. But if he does, I think it's a very possible he can use it. And it can be effective against Anthony Hernandez, And also, like, just Anthony Hernandez has nothing to offer Sean Strickland. As far as on the ground, I don't think he'll be able to submit. I think Sean Strickland is big. He's much bigger, too. Not much bigger, but he's bigger. Anthony Hernandez is not that big for the middleweight division. He's definitely a big guy, but all of these guys are big guys. We look, Sean Strickland listed at 6'1". 1-inch reach advantage, 2-inch leg reach advantage. I just think Sean Strickland's, he's longer, just a tiny bit, slightly bigger. He's a built guy. I just think it's going to be whoever backs up first. And even if Sean does back up, we're going to see him slowly put that pace on Anthony Hernandez. And Anthony Hernandez, he likes to dictate the fight, right? And I think if you're fighting Sean Strickland, you're trying to dictate the fight, and you just keep getting jabbed in the face. Sean Strickland is hitting you, teeping you in the stomach, I think it's going to wear on Anthony Hernandez. I think actually Sean Strickland will get a TKO against Anthony Hernandez, probably in the 4th or 5th round. I would say he just keeps jabbing Anthony Hernandez. Hernandez will probably win the first round. I don't think it's that hard to win a first round against Sean Strickland. He does need some time to get into the fight. But I don't see him wrestling with Sean Strickland. I'll see him trying. We'll see him try, but I think Sean Strickland honestly is just going to probably just big bro him in a way and just shuck him off, you know? I think he can't do that. I got Sean Strickland, 4th, 5th round TKO. And also, I just want to compare, like, Anthony Hernandez's striking is not on Dricus' level. I'm going to say this again. Go back and watch that Dricus fight. It's not on Dricus' level. It really isn't. He has the combinations. Hernandez does. I don't think he has the power. I don't think that's going to be a threat. And I think he leaves himself open too much. That Delete Say fight, Sean Strickland would walk down Delete Say and way easier than Anthony Hernandez did. And if Anthony Hernandez wants to try that, you know, like a BMF stuff and like start yelling at Sean Strickland, sure, go ahead, do it. I don't think Sean Strickland cares. I don't think he would care. If they get into a firefight, Sean Strickland is straight up just a cleaner and more calculated striker. He straight up is. So yeah, and you don't got to look at numbers to know that. You could just straight the eye test, right? I'm mostly going off of this just because of the eye test. Just look at them fight, you'll see what I mean. Sean Strickland, he's gonna teep and jab Anthony Hernandez. This could be a boring decision, but I doubt it since Anthony Hernandez is a guy. This is gonna be a sick fight. This is gonna be an exciting fight. I think they're both gonna bring it. Obviously, like I said, just two cars running into each other. One's gonna back up, and I think that's gonna be Anthony Hernandez. Now let's talk about the middleweight division a little bit, because we have this fight happening, right? We should have Khamzat Chimaev versus Nasruddin Imavov next. We have Reiner de Ritter. Cut that out, man. I'm gonna edit that out. Reiner de Ritter versus Kyle Baralho. That's a matchup that doesn't really matter in the top of the division because those guys are both guys coming off of a loss. So I don't even know why I mentioned that. But we have Izzy versus Pyfer. We have some good middleweight matchups coming up. But when Sean Strickland beats Anthony Hernandez, he only needs one more fight after that to fight Khamzat. Or if he beats Anthony Hernandez in a dominant way, they might just give Sean Strickland the title shot right after Nasruddin Imavov. But I'm curious though, where's Dricus? Where does Dricus lie into all this? They're probably gonna do Dricus versus Brendan Allen soon. Those are kind of the only two guys left, right? But if Sean Strickland has a dominant performance, man, he's right back in the title picture, you know? He really is. And if Anthony Hernandez beats Sean Strickland here, he's right in that title picture too. But the rightful number one contender, the rightful person who should fight Khamzat Chimaev is Nasruddin Imavov. They should do that fight next. If they don't, I don't know what to say then. I don't know what the UFC is doing. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Just like, share the video, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this fight in the comments below. I got Sean Strickland, 4th, 5th round TKO, or dominant decision, as in Anthony Hernandez wins the first round and Sean wins the next 4 rounds. Make sure to like, subscribe. I already said that. Peace out.